These are the top 6 Bitcoin Layer 2 and DeFi protocols you should strongly consider in 2024.
Francis Dhun, Uncensored.
Welcome back to another video here at Francis Dhun Uncensored. If you're new to the channel, my name is Francis Dhun, and I've invested into over 7 years worth of crypto startups. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys what I'm going to be tackling this year, which is the whole Bitcoin Layer 2 and Bitcoin and DeFi protocols in 2024. That's where it's at. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you like, subscribe, and smash the bell notification button so you don't miss out on information like this, which truly is time sensitive, guys. So let's get right to it, and we're going to be talking about them in order from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the very last one, or the first one, which is the best one in that order. Okay, guys, so let's get to it. So coming in at number 6 is the B Squared network. Now, if you've been following the channel, you should know what the B Squared network is. They call themselves the most practical Bitcoin Layer 2 network, okay? And as you can see right here, B Squared network is invested by some of the top firms in the field. Hashkey Capital, we got OKEX Ventures, we have ABCDE, and we also have the likes of KuCoin Ventures, so that's always a great sign. And as we come down over here, they tell us a little bit more of what they want to do. Obviously being fast, cheap, secure, seamless access, easy to construct and migrate dApps, DA layer for Bitcoin, etc. Okay, now this video here is not the full in-depth video on these projects. Okay, it'll take about 2 hours to do 6 of these projects, but I will definitely do that in a future video for each one specific project. But the reason why I really like the B2 network is they're essentially one of the first movers, not in the sense of getting their project out there, but actually in the sense of educating the masses of what Bitcoin Layer 2s are, why they're needed. We actually had a representative on the channel that conducted a live stream interview with us, and they really taught us a lot of things from the very beginning. And, you know, they also were the first to get this program out there, the airdrop program. So people participated in that, the Buzz program. So that's one way you could have got the token. But you might want to consider, if you're like me, scooping some up when they go live. I think B2 Network is going to be one of the first movers in that regard as educators, and they have surely acclimated themselves in the Bitcoin Layer 2, niche. So check them out. I also saw them in person when I attended the Denver event, and they go into more details on how this protocol would work here. Their Bitcoin Layer 2 solution through EVM compatibility. Okay, guys, highly recommend you come on over to B2B Squared .network and check out their website, the documentation, to formulate your own opinion. But in my opinion, B Squared Network is definitely going to be in my portfolio moving forward in 2024, especially when it comes to the whole Bitcoin Layer 2s. And there are some, Medium posts here. You guys can read up more information on what they represent. Now, we are talking about number 5 right here, guys. A behemoth project, Polyhedra. Massive project. They got massive backing. Their technology is crazy, and we're going to dive into this a little bit here. So, empowering interoperability and computation via zero knowledge, okay? And right here, bridging interoperability and scalability to Web3 with cutting-edge zero-knowledge proof systems. And yes, they also do have a token, guys. Okay, so this essentially is how this will work. You could connect your wallet. You could test this all out right now if you wanted to. And, as you see the examples right here is Ethereum, Polygon, Ethereum, Scroll, Arbitrum, whatever, Optimism, blah, 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 blah. But this also will be working for ordinals. So what they are doing is they are not a DEX. They're not a Layer 2 blockchain, but they are a cross-chain interoperable zero-knowledge bridge that could take assets from, say, Bitcoin Layer 1, okay, like ordinals, and send that to Solana and use that liquidity over there in a more liquid blockchain like that, or more active blockchain, I should say. Shouldn't necessarily say liquid, right? More transactions going on, and there's certain exchanges that'll be supporting this, okay? So that's very huge. That's massive, and it's first of its kind. Again, cross-chain zero-knowledge bridge, not only for blockchains, but also for Layer 1 assets like ordinals, okay, and BRC20 tokens, which is massive. So it's kind of like what Merlin Chain is doing, and we're going to get to them shortly. We saw the success over there, where you could bridge your Layer 1 assets over to Merlin Chain, and we saw the immense liquidity and the opportunities that presented. Well, that's very similar to what Polyhedra is doing, but times 10 on a much larger scale, okay? And as you can see right here, as we're talking about larger scale, their backers includes the likes of Binance Labs, Polychain Capital, OKEX Ventures, Animoca Brands, Hashkey Capital, ABCDE, KuCoin Ventures, and the list freaking goes on and on. And there's an add more button here. So you kind of get the point of where I'm coming with, coming at with this. This is a massive, massive project, guys, and I believe there was an well, the airdrop already took place, right? So you can come on over here and check it out. I'll definitely be doing a full in-depth video on Polyhedra. Okay, that's coming out number 5. Polyhedra is a token you might want to consider moving into 2024 with this entire Bitcoin Layer 2 narrative and Bitcoin DeFi protocol. Okay, guys, now let's go to one of my favorites, bro. Coming in at number 4, bro, it's BitSmiley, man. BitSmiley has this, like, charm, you know what I mean? They got this swag, this charm, and what they're creating is first of its kind, which is Bitcoin and native stablecoin. Okay, so inventor of BitUSD. We are the OG of Bitcoin stablecoin based on over-collateralization, building its proliferal Fintegra products at the same time. Okay, so this is the white paper. Again, we're not going to be diving into that. But to know that you have a Bitcoin stablecoin is freaking crazy. And, I think that'll be used quite often here on Layer 1 and even wherever. Maybe it's interoperable in Layer 2, but it's definitely useful. I think a lot of people, I don't know, I don't really like to trade Bitcoin personally, but people who are into that could use this stablecoin for those purposes, right? And there's many other use cases this could be used for as well. But that's obviously, the prime example of one. They also will have a burn feature to this, okay? And they're creating their own standard as well. Okay, a different standard. So do be on the lookout for that. These guys have making a name, and OKEx Ventures are invested. We have ABCDE as well, and I believe KuCoin recently came on board. Okay, now how could you get these tokens? I believe their successful NFT here, okay, BitDisk, is trading at 0.053 right now on OKEx Marketplace. If you own this, you will be getting specific airdrops, and one could imagine their token will be one of that as well. Okay, so be on the lookout for BitSmiley. They're partnering with a bunch of top-tier projects in the Bitcoin ecosystem, and you're not gonna, you're gonna keep on hearing more and more and more of them. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with. If you are into this sort of stuff here, you might want to strongly consider some BitSmileys, guys. Okay, now let's get to a very exciting project, guys, and this project is massive. We're talking about Babylon. Okay, Babylon's coming in at number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, and again, they hosted the Bitcoin Denver Renaissance event that we went to. And Babylon says here, unlocking 21 million to secure the decentralized economy. Bitcoin staking, which is absolutely massive, guys. Why is that massive? Because when Bitcoin goes up in value, many people sell it. And unfortunately, they lose their Bitcoin, right? But they make some money, cool, but that money runs out, or you know what I mean? It's just money. Right? It's just the USD. You don't got that asset anymore that goes up in value, right? Now, the ability to stake Bitcoin in a decentralized way now offers the users the benefit of keeping their core asset, but still getting yield on it, okay? And they're going to be connected with the Cosmos ecosystem, which is a massive ecosystem. And that's where you'll be getting all of this yield. So you don't have to sell your Bitcoin anymore. You could stake it in a decentralized way, okay, and still get rewarded for it, and use that yield on whatever you want instead of selling the actual underlying asset. It's almost like real estate. Who the heck will buy homes to go and then just sell it after when it goes up in value? No, you want to rent it out and never sell it and keep that home and keep that sort of like a residual income coming in. So that's what they're doing. But what they remind me of is, and as we scroll down here, you'll see. Stake, secure, earn, Bitcoin staking protocol right here. Scalable restaking. Okay, take note of this. One stake, multiple yields coming soon. Now that is crazy, and I'll tell you why that's crazy. Because that reminds me of Eigenlayer, or Eigenlayer, however the heck you say it. Eigenlayer is probably one of the biggest damn chains right now. They got billions locked up in here, and people are taking advantage of this restake opportunity, okay? So shared security to hyperscale Ethereum, okay? Now stake ETH across multiple protocols at once. That's essentially what Babylon is kind of doing over here, right? With the staking and restaking of Bitcoin. So this is why I'm very bullish on Babylon. And again, this video will get too out of hand if we dive deeper. I'll make a separate video on each one of these projects. But Babylon is going to be a force to be reckoned with. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. Now, guys, one of my absolute favorite projects that gets me so excited genuinely, bro. Like genuinely freaking excited, okay? From a technology standpoint, technical standpoint, and even apparently the token economic standpoint, bro, it doesn't really get much better than Portal. Let me tell you. Portal is going to melt faces. I like to refer to Portal as the sex and Dex killer. Why? Because this is the first of its kind. Okay? This is the first ever cross-chain, wrapperless, bridgeless, decentralized exchange, so to speak. This is decentralized exchange 3.0. What do I mean by that? Well, on a decentralized exchange, what do? You use, I don't know, you use bridges. You use tokens that's within that network to trade. Now, with Portal, you could trade outside of that network in a decentralized way and a private way. So that's something that DEXs can't do. You could only trade within Ethereum. You go to Uniswap, there's only ERC20 tokens there. You cannot trade Solana, you cannot trade BNB, you cannot trade Bitcoin, none of that stuff. Portal, you could do all of that in an interoperable, decentralized, non-custodial, private way. Okay? And then sometimes these DEXs will have bridges. You don't need a bridge to get to these other chains that they're working with here. They have atomic swap technology, okay? Well, why do you like going to, say, I don't know, Sexes? Well, Sexes, I don't know, maybe it's convenient and it's fast. So they claim to be very fast and efficient as well, okay? But they're also private. So that's why it's better to use them than a Sex, right? So it's better to use Portal than a Sex and a DEX for the reasons I just mentioned. Because with a DEX, you got to remain within that network and trade. With Portal, you not only need to remain in that network, but you can actually trade decentralized across different networks. Okay, why is it better than a Sex? Well, it's better than a Sex because it's private and it's fast, just like a Sex, and cost efficient as well. Guys, they're going to melt faces, and that's not all. These guys have been building for about 4 years now, if not more. Okay, this is not something that just came about yesterday, last week, last month. Oh, there's a trend in Bitcoin Layer 2. Let's join that trend. No, they've been doing this for 4 years. Okay, and when you want to talk about the token, the export token is going to blow your mind. If you actually read this one documentation, there's another one on how the token burn works. The more active the network and their platform, rather, the more active their platform, the more tokens will be burnt. They got a burn emission. It's deflationary. Guys, there's game theory behind here, bro. So for those reasons, right, alone, I'm super bullish on Portal. And that's my number 2 Bitcoin DeFi protocol, right, out of all even Layer 2s, right? That's my number 2 out of this top 6 list. Okay, guys, that's very high. It was very hard not to put them number 2. I was considering number 1. But speaking of number 1, boys, we got to go to Merlin Chain. Merlin Chain is where it's at right now. Why? Because Merlin Chain, out of all of the new Bitcoin Layer 2 blockchains out there, they actually are out there live already. They locked up over $2 billion in a matter of days of going live. They got massive trading volume, they got massive liquidity across their ecosystem, and they are setting the standard here, whether you want to believe it or not, or like it or not. I go with the numbers, I don't go with feelings, right? I go with facts. And, you cannot negate the fact that these guys are leading the way and setting the standard, right? They're not just talking about what they're going to do. They're not just showing you in these white papers and in these documentations. It's actually already there, right? If you've been following the channel, you should know what the Merlin Seal is. The Merlin Seal is where you can lock up Layer 1 assets to Layer 2, which is Merlin Chain. And there's tremendous liquidity happening. As you can see right over here, Voya and all these things happening on Merlin Swap, which is the first decentralized exchange to go live on Merlin Chain. So all of these things come together. There's massive liquidity there. The guy behind this, which is Jeff, he actually has a tremendous amount of experience building successful protocols, and that is translating and transitioning over to his Bitcoin Layer 2. And dude, this is more liquidity, more TVL than Blast and other Layer 2s that's been out there. So that's crazy, man. And it's not going to stop. I think there's going to be a lot of good news for Merlin Chain in this month, right? That's what they were telling us. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be on the forefront of all of this, guys. So yeah, my number 1 is Merlin Chain. I don't care what anybody says. You can't argue that, bro. They're leading the way. They're setting the bar high. And they already got things streamlined and steam rolling, so to speak. So we got Merlin Chain. Man, Portal is just amazing. That's going to be like when you first didn't understand what Uniswap was, and then you use it once, twice, 3 times, you can't stop using it. Portal is going to be that. You're going to get that same experience with Portal. You will not be able to stop using it because it just checks all the boxes, right? So that's number 2, right? Number 3 is Babylon. As I just mentioned, it's like staking Bitcoin and restaking. It's like EigenLayer all over again, but on Bitcoin. Okay? Babylon is going to melt faces, right? BitSmiley, right? The first Bitcoin native stable coin on their own standard with a burn mechanism intact. So they got that game theory as well, okay? Let's go ahead and talk about Polyhedra once again. Amazing technology. Cross-chain, zero knowledge bridge. Okay, guys, backed by major investors like Binance Labs all the way down to KuCoin Labs and OKX Ventures, right? And obviously B-Squared Network, we can't forget them, right? They were one of the first educators here. Their thing should be going live within the next month, and they've acclimated themselves in this space, right? So those are the top 6, guys. Yeah, straight up. You might want to consider that. Do your own homework. Keep it locked to the Smart Money channel. We got more videos like this. Everything about Bitcoin Layer 2s and Bitcoin DeFi right here on Francis Dhun Uncensored. So there ain't really much left to say other than, till the next video, you're on your own. Later.
Francis Dhun Uncensored.